So everybody knows that this might be some doom and gloom video about Redfall and how Xbox is struggling and all that. Well, I want to get into a little bit about why this is happening, why Redfall is getting the hate that it rightly deserves, and why Xbox needs to start doing some quality control around everything that they're making, because to be honest with you, there's a lot of things around Xbox and around Microsoft that they need to fix in order to get gamers to be more invested in their platform. So I want to get into everything that's going on because, man, oh man, if you look at the reviews, you look at the reception, and you look at social media, Xbox is going through the ringer right now, and I want to get into why and everything that's attached to it. So let's do that. Alright, so you know the drill. If you like the content, hit that subscribe button and that like button. And if you want to be notified on future videos, hit that small little bell icon. And if you want to go that extra mile to support the channel, hit that join button. All the support is greatly appreciated. Alright, so the first thing I do want to talk about is, of course, Redfall. I mean, we all know what kind of game it is. We all were hyped about it for about 2 years. And for a very long time, it did seem like Microsoft, especially Xbox, was pushing this game as a pretty big AAA game that's going to be a brand new IP. Now, everybody around the gaming industry thought, hey, this looks pretty cool. It's a new IP, and it's going to be something that Bethesda or Zenimax and Arcane Studios makes. It's going to be the first game from this big acquisition that Xbox did 2.5 years ago with Zenimax Media. Think about that. For 2.5 years, we got Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, which were PlayStation exclusives, and then all of a sudden, it was all Xbox. I understand that we got Hi-Fi Rush, but that was a shadow drop, and there wasn't a lot of hype surrounding that game. But when you look at Redfall, it was something different. It was supposed to be a game that a lot of people were excited for, and it was going to push Game Pass to new heights. And then it released, and you see the Metacritic score, you see all the critical reception, you see everything that's attached to it, and it makes you wonder, what is Xbox doing over there? What is happening? I understand that they delayed the game, and I understand that it was supposed to come out summer of last year, but when you look at the game now, and this is coming from somebody that's played it, how are you going to say that this game was complete and ready to launch? Now, I actually enjoyed the game on my PC, but I am not the person to talk about with that because I have a 4090, I have very high-end specs, and the game ran pretty decently. I was getting about 140 to 150 frames with DLSS 3 on quality mode, and I put a couple other things off and on, and it ran perfectly. But I will say that the game did have a lot of different things that need fixing. AI from the enemies being one of them. They would just sometimes stand there, or they would run around and not really fire at me, and the next fight would be amazing because the AI was doing exactly what it needed to do. It was flanking me, the vampires were attacking me. It was intense. But again, it was few and far between, and it didn't happen as often. So I'm asking the question, who was doing the quality control when it comes to Xbox? Because let's be real, when everybody saw that Xbox bought the Bethesda and all those studios that are attached to it with Arcane and id Tech and of course Bethesda Softworks, we were all hyped. Xbox fans were hyped because it's a big get. But as we sit here, the first game that comes out is a 64 meta. Now, I am an outlier. I think that what's happened with Bethesda and ZeniMax has been happening for a little while now. Fallout 76 wasn't just the one thing that came out and everybody was like, that's all it is. I'm saying a lot of their games didn't really sell all that well. There's no Wolfenstein 3. Wolfenstein 2, while a great game, didn't sell all that well, and they just weren't at the top of the market. The big games that sold well were Fallout 5, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and of course, Doom Eternal. That's about it. Now, I know there's other games out there that they make that everybody loves, but overall, I do think that they needed to be reeled in a little bit, and that's why I was excited for Xbox, because I thought they were going to do that. I thought they were going to focus them, give them money, and be like, hey, make the games that you're good at making. And then Redfall comes out, and it's exactly the opposite of what I thought was going to happen. And I'm saying this because I don't want people to give this a pass. I don't want people to start damage controlling this. I don't want any sort of that. I want people to keep Xbox honest and keep Bethesda honest and keep the whole industry honest. Because let's be real, there were a lot of Xbox fans out there bashing Forspoken, bashing a lot of the games that are coming out, and now it's happening in the reverse. A lot of Sony fans are bashing Redfall and bashing Xbox fans with the Metacritic score. And I don't care about all of that. All I care about is good games. I want games to come out complete. We look at Jedi Survivor, it's come out with performance issues, yet the core of the game is special. There's a lot of good stuff there that if they just brought it out complete with performance and optimization, it could be one of the best games of the year. And Redfall, I feel, has the opposite, or even double down, it has more problems than most games that have come out. The core of the game, while has promise, isn't all that great. The core loop of the game needs to be a little bit better, but then it comes out with performance issues on the console and of course on PC. So where is the quality control? Where is somebody actually going to Arcane and demanding a little better from them, saying, hey, you need to come out and make this game a lot better than what it is and play it and maybe even delay it. And I'm not saying delay it just for 60 FPS. I never agreed with that crowd. The 60 FPS mode on the Xbox Series X is a long way away. And that's another thing. I did play the game on my PC, but I also played it on my Series X. And I will say that it looks utterly different compared to the two. The Series X just looks really floaty and bloated, and it just doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is. It's not just the 30 FPS. It just doesn't feel right when you're shooting. It doesn't feel right as a game. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's just what it is. And I'm going to call out Xbox on this because for the longest time, I have said that Bethesda has always been a PC-first type of developer. They've made a lot of games for PC. They've always optimized it very well for PC. And when I played Redfall, it ran well on my PC. I'm sure there's other people that are running into problems, but so far, I haven't. When you look at them making games for Xbox specifically, they've been lacking there. Outside of Hi-Fi Rush, a lot of the stuff needs to be better optimized on the Series X. And I will say this is a first-party Xbox game. If you're going to bring out a first-party Xbox game at 30 FPS, what do you think the third-party developers and publishers are going to do? You think they're going to utilize every little thing, every little tool on your console? No, it is supposed to be the first-party studios that do that. And until that happens, until I see 60 FPS with everything running and all the tools being used by the first party, I'm going to say this right now, third-party developers are not going to be using those at all, and all the games will run better on other platforms. I'm talking PC, and yes, I am talking PlayStation 5. It will just run better there, because if the first party can't handle the tools or use them properly in a budgeted time, aka get it at launch in a release date, what makes you think someone else is going to do that doesn't just focus on that console? It just doesn't seem logical to me. So that's what I'm calling Xbox out on. That's what I'm saying, is that they need to start utilizing the tools, be better prepared software side, make sure that there's a harmonious symbiotic relationship with the hardware and the software, and the first party studios are utilizing that, because right now they are not at all. I understand that older games from last gen are doing it. I understand there's some cool upgrades that we get with Gears 5 and all these other games that have come out, but for the first party games coming out right now, the next gen consoles, it needs to be done. I don't know what is bottlenecking them. I don't know what is holding them back. Some people are saying it's the Series S. I don't know if that's the case, and if it is, you need to adjust your strategy plan, Xbox, across the board, because people that paid a premium $500 for a console do not deserve to get 30 FPS and games that look like Redfall on the Xbox. I'm sorry, it just doesn't look good on there. It looks completely different on the PC. Even the shooting with mouse and keyboard feels different and just looks different and feels better. That is something that a lot of people need to realize, and it sucks to say that. But overall, I'm going to keep their feet to the fire because I want Xbox to compete. If people don't realize this, the Xbox showcase is coming in June. There's also a Sony showcase that's being rumored that's coming in May or a couple weeks before Xbox's. If you don't think Sony's coming with banger after banger, people need to realize that's going to happen, because that's what Sony does. They get you hyped and then they deliver on that hype. God of War Ragnarok was one of the best reviewed games last year. You look at all the games they bring out, including Spider-Man that's supposed to come out this year, and then Wolverine in the next year and a half or 2 years. Those are big games, and we're not even talking about factions or all the other studios that they have. That is competition. They've sold 38.5 million PlayStation 5 consoles in 2.5 years. Xbox is not even near that. It's about to be a 2-to-1 again. Start competing, start looking at the landscape of gaming. I understand that the Activision Blizzard deal got blocked by the CMA, but just because you're doing one deal doesn't mean you need to ignore everything else. You've been quiet for a year and a half because of this deal, but now that it's blocked, start talking, start showing games, and start bringing quality out. Maybe hire some quality control, because that's exactly what was missing from Redfall, and that's exactly what's missing from some of your first-party studios. We need to start seeing results, and I'm done sitting here giving you the benefit of the doubt. I'm personally, as a content creator and as an Xbox fan, going to be critical. I'm not going to sit here and cap for Game Pass. I'm not going to sit here and cap for anything else. I'm going to sit here and cap for quality. And that's exactly what I want, because overall, Redfall to me, has some qualities that could have turned into an amazing franchise. It has a really cool base that I enjoyed as a gameplay loop. A lot of people didn't, but I did. If you just had that quality attached to it, I feel like it could have taken off and been something pretty cool that a lot of people enjoyed with friends in co-op, and you could have expanded on the lore and the type of monsters in there, not only just vampires, but werewolves and all the things attached to them when it comes to vampires. I feel like it could have been pretty awesome and pretty big. But here we are with a 64 Metacritic and everything else that's going on in the industry, and Xbox seems to be fumbling yet again, just like they did with the 12-month thing last year at their show, and just like they did with all the delays that are happening. And if you look at Redfall's release, everybody was championing this delay because we're going to get a better game. Well, I saw the delay as, hey, if you need more time, take it. But you better come out and bring out a solid game that people are going to enjoy. And you didn't do that. So I just have to say, Xbox, get your stuff together, because that's all that's going to help you. It's not going to be relying on the Xbox 360 era. It's not going to be relying on glory days. It's going to be reliant on what you do for gamers now. Are you going to bring out quality games? And yes, I am side-eyeing Starfield and all the other games that you're bringing out, because I don't trust that you're going to bring out quality content anymore. I want to see you bring out quality content, and when you do, I will champion it, and I will say, hey, this is exactly what we need. But let me know what you think about all this. Do you think that Xbox needs to have some better quality control when it comes to their first-party titles? Do you like Redfall, and have you played it on the console or the PC? I want to know where people are playing this game, because so far, the PC is almost a completely different experience compared to what I saw on the Series X, which is just sad. And do you think that Starfield is going to come in at 30 frames per second on the console? And are they going to utilize what the console can do? Not to mention, what do you expect from the Xbox showcase after all of the negative reviews that have come out for Redfall? Not to mention all the negative press with the CMA blocking Activision Blizzard. Do you think Xbox needs to adjust? And is the June show in jeopardy because they were banking on the Blizzard and Activision deal? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button to support us out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've actually been playing 2 games, and a lot of them. I've been playing God of War Ragnarok, which I'm about 25 hours in. I got about 15 hours in when it released, and then I stopped playing it because other things happened. Honestly, I was getting married. There was a lot of stuff going on. Holidays hit, family stuff, so I kind of just lost track. But I've jumped back into it, and I have to say it's one of the best games I've played in a very long time. I'm loving every single minute of it, and I'm just enjoying the game for what it is, which is one of the big, most epic games and franchises in the history of gaming. And I've been also jumping into Redfall. I know, the game that we're talking about here, I have about 2 to 3 hours in it as I'm making this video, and yes, I enjoyed my time with the game so far. I've had a lot of good time with it, but I also see the cracks in the mirror when you look at it, and I see it kind of falling apart around me when AI is not acting right. There's some glitches, but overall, I enjoy the game. I enjoy the gameplay, but this is on my 4090, and this is with my mouse and keyboard, so a lot of people are going to have varying experiences, especially if you're on the console, which I played it there too, and man, oh man, it just didn't run well. But let me know what you're playing. Are you playing something on your Xbox, your PS5, your PC? Are you playing something on your Switch or your Steam Deck? Let me know down below, because that's what we're here for, is to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.